basic to understand, and it is something normally we all apply without knowing about it too much. It is just this that every problem is part of a larger system of problems, and solving one problem inevitably leads to another. Having a clear framework of the elements and the dimensions that comprise a solution ensures its workability and facilitates implementation. It looks very complex when we read about it, but it is much easier to apply in practice. Every problem is part of a larger system of problems. That is, for example, if you are called in as an HR consultant to explore ways of improving the functioning of the, say, production department in, say, company X, you go there. You look at the statistics, you look at the production numbers, you look at the different graphs, all these things, which usually consultants do. The quantitative things and everything is looked at very closely. You find that over the year, instead of growth, they are stalling. That is, there is no growth. They are keeping wherever they were in the past year also. Although increased use of resources is seen. For example, more people are working in the production department. They are consuming more material, but the conversion rate is not going up. So it looks like everything is a big problem now with regard to the production. Now, what can actually impact this problem? That is what we can understand if we try to develop a systems thinking approach. If you see from the outside, the production department is actually a big system. There are a lot of interacting entities inside that particular system. So, for example, if you look at the average productivity of one employee in the production department, you will find that since there are differences in the productivity of each employee, the average figure may be situated very low down compared to the value of productivity for the top performing employee. Now, what has started off as a big production problem, you now find that probably by looking at the employee productivities, you can focus on the particular group which needs more attention. You may find that it is actually the employee contribution which is affecting the activity overall. So now we are breaking down the problem into smaller ones, and we are actually finding that the smaller problems, once solved, will contribute to the solution of the larger problem. So this is exactly what is meant by the systems thinking. You now also have to think about the information which needs to be collated by the, it is not collected, I have used the word collated, C-O-L-L-A-T-E-D, collated by the consultant. What is it? It is just this: excessive data gathering may create expertise in the problem area, but knowing too much detail may prevent the discovery of some excellent alternative solutions. This is exactly what we say when we use the proverb, losing the trees for the forest. It is, you are able to see the whole thing, but you are unable to understand the significance of each particular tree which is contributing to the whole structure of the forest. You are unable to appreciate the importance, although the whole thing you are able to understand. Now, in the consulting context, what this means is, instead of gathering data in a particular area and going on adding to that without looking at what is the purpose in this information collection, the consultant may end up in not noticing alternative options which may be available and which can be actually found out only if we explore other possible information channels. We may find that in the role play example, for example. Let us take that as itself as an example. The engaged consultant may think that the only person who is required is the marketing head. So the consultant deals only with the marketing head. Now, what can actually happen? Probably the marketing head, if he or she is a good person, will give the consultant all the data available with them. The problem is just this: whatever data is being channeled is what the marketing head thinks is the right data. The consultant isn't exploring alternative channels. So what will happen is the consultant automatically will come into the view which has been put forth by the marketing head. Instead of developing a solution of their own, of the consultant's own ideas, after interpreting the different data, they will be actually channeling themselves slowly into the mindset of the marketing head and forgetting about the organization as a whole. Probably you will understand that there are other issues also on hand. For example, the production department may not be so good at changing the different models. They may have issues with inspection, which may not be understood properly by the marketing person. A lot of things can actually contribute to the situation there. But if this particular principle is not kept in mind, the solution the consultant will develop will also more or less look like a biased solution. Okay, so the limited information collection principle makes it clear that you should not limit your data gathering in a particular area or sub-area of organizational systems, but you should try to enlarge your sources. Not only that, you should also try to limit your information gathering so that only the relevant information is gathered. That's a skill. Actually, this is one of the most important skills a consultant should develop if a consultant wants to move up the ladder of consulting. Because nowadays you are flooded with data. Actually, you will get submerged in data if you ask for data nowadays. That much data is being put forth. Since everybody finds it very easy to come up with whatever kind of data you ask for, you are actually immersed in all this. So how will you understand what is actually essential for your purpose? That comes out through your experience and also by applying this very general principle. See to it that you are not focusing just on one particular small subsegment of the big thing. You also have to focus on the other areas. Okay, so that is the limited information collection principle for you. And those who implement and use the solution, we should also think about those people. Who is going to implement the solution? You may say that the consultant may be usually implement. Not usually. And even if the consultant is going to implement, the client organization has to get involved in it because ultimately it is for them. And it is the client who actually implements the solution. Now, the people design principle is very simple. Unless right from the start, you take along the people in the organization with whom you are working, you will find it extremely difficult to implement the solution in the organization.